Well, thank you, Greta.
And it's not just a small business controversy. During another heated hearing, IRS Chief John Koskinen getting grilled on everything from the targeting scandal to the IRS rehiring tax sheets to work there.
Between 2010, January, and September 2013, the IRS rehired 7,000 employees. A great jobs program. And we're always delighted when people are employed. But the question comes from my people as to why over 800 of those 7,000 rehired IRS employees were rehired with prior substantial employment issues.
The bulk of those employees are temporaries or seasonals who are hired for 4 to 6, 8 months a year, depending on the time.
And Senator Rob Portman joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
I should ask that Commissioner Koskinen apologized to this vet, however, didn't return the $149,000 that the federal government. So I think that's a completely ridiculous apology. I would not accept that. But anyway, what is going on with these IRS?
Well, first of all, outrageous. And to Andrew Clyde, thank you for coming up to the Hill and testifying. We need to change the law. One, there needs to be some evidence of criminal wrongdoing. I mean, here's a guy who did nothing wrong. Second, he needs
and they kept his $149,000.
Yeah.
Or with legal fees.
Well, they should pay the legal fees. Anytime the IRS loses in this kind of a suit, they should pay the legal fees, because I think that has a really good effect on whether they bring the case or not. And you're a lawyer. You actually know how this thing works.
Yeah, but
if the IRS knew they were going to have to pay the legal fees, it might help.
But the legal fees,
hearing right away.
I would then be paying the legal fees as a taxpayer, which I would gladly, I'm sure many taxpayers would, because this is a vet. But I mean, there's got to be something more. These sort of rogue agents doing this brutal thing, and what's with a prosecutor being involved in this? And this is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it is outrageous. And so in this individual case, yes, they should give him not just all of his money back. They should pay some kind of restitution. But also, with regard to the law, we need to change the law, because clearly the IRS in this case is interpreting the law in a way that they're going after people who are perfectly innocent. And so it's another example, and there are plenty of them. We saw what happened with the IRS targeting conservatives. We've seen now with the IRS hiring folks who actually were cheating on their taxes, and they're bringing them back. And I think the commissioner was saying, well, they're only part-time. Well, I don't, as a taxpayer, I don't care if they're part-time or full-time. We can't cheat on our taxes. They shouldn't cheat on theirs.
I appreciate the hearings on Capitol Hill, but I'm sort of over the hearings. I really want to do. In the sense that I want to see the House and the Senate really do something. I'm sick of the hearings. And this poor man, that's just outrageous to do to him. Yeah. And, another hearing isn't going to do it.
There needs to be actions.
When is there going to be action? When are you going to,
by the way, the commissioner came to see us in the Finance Committee. I'm on the Senate Finance Committee, and this was last week, and he talked about the need for more funding. And look, I think taxpayers deserve good service, and when you don't have enough funding, people can't get their phone calls answered and so on. But I told him, I said, you're not going to get any more funding until you regain some element of trust in this agency. And
but let me just stop there. He wants $2 billion more in funding. That's what the president wants. There are, if you go look at the records, there is $3.3 billion. It's $1.3 billion more owed by current federal employees in back taxes. So instead of asking the taxpayers to pay more, why don't you collect? Why don't you collect?
The other problem here, as you know, is Obamacare. So when you actually look at the reason that the IRS is needing more funds to be able to do what they should be doing for all of us as taxpayers, it's because they've taken on this enormous burden that the president asked them to do under Obamacare. People don't realize that, but it's actually the IRS that's doing the implementation here. And that's what's costing them so much more. So really, it's a hidden cost in Obamacare. We talk about the $2 trillion cost over 10 years. It's really far more than that, because you can see it right now at the IRS. They don't have enough resources to be able to deal with people's questions about their 1040 because they're distracted on trying to verify incomes on Obamacare.
Well, it's very upsetting, and I feel terrible for people like this guest and others.
Yeah.
And it's like,
thank goodness he's willing to come forward and talk about it, and I hope this initiates a legislative change.
I hope members of Congress and Senate are watching this, and they do something, because this is just disgraceful. Anyway, Senator, thank you for joining us.
Nice
to see you.